Hello and welcome back to my roundup of the event at Pegasus Games. It was a wonderful event run by Stu as ever, and it's always a pleasure to go down there and see the regulars. I have been lucky to go there a few times in the past, and I look forward to the next game. So just a quick caveat, obviously I got ripped to shreds when I turned up because they almost immediately pointed out my error. So I took Cataphragnes, or Acolyte of the Cataphragnes, not realizing it was restricted to tomes. So that was a dead card in my hand. So that's just out the gate. And then there was one other card that I took. I always forget what it's called. It's like Ahead of the Hunt, or no, it's not Ahead of the Hunt. It was Ahead of Hunt. Score this in end phase if there is at least one surviving friendly quarry. Again, I completely misread that card, and wouldn't you know it, I think, to be fair, once I got made a quarry once out of the 4 games that I played, so my deck was instantly gummed up by these two cards in the deck, but it still went horrifically well for me, thanks to the Cataphragn relics. So the first game was against Lady Harrows, piloted by Simon. He was relatively new to Harrows, and I'm not new to Harrows in the slightest. And it went really well for me. I got my relics on nice and quick, and before I know it, I was crapping out glory, and he couldn't kill me in time. So it ended up winning the first game 28-3 because he couldn't kill me, and then the second game 43-13 because he was able to get to me a bit more. But yeah, 2-0 to me. Total glory scored 71, conceded 16, so pretty brutal. And then the second game was against Mal. I don't want to call him a nemesis because he's a really great guy, but I always seem to lose against him, and this game was no different. First game, I did actually win 11-6. I think I longboarded him on the first game, so I kind of kept him at bay a bit. But then the second game, I lost 8-15, and then the third game, the tiebreaker, I lost 7-11. So both the first wins were pretty solid for each of us, and then 7-11 is a narrow loss, so I'll take it. Mal's a great opponent, so I'm not too upset. Especially because I was running such a dirty deck, I can't really complain too much. So over the 3 games, I scored 26 and I conceded 30. The third game was against Carl with his Rippers. Carl's a great guy as well. I was blessed with great opponents, but I'm yet to play a bad opponent at Pegasus, apart from Rob, when he brought Mollog, and I'll never forgive him for it. But yeah, Carl's great. Played Rippers again. It was a bit of a shame. There was 2 Rippers at a 6-person event, but it is what it is. And I didn't take pictures of this one, so I do apologise. But the game went really well. I think my opening hand I'll show now. And it just snowballed from there, really. So I ended up winning the first game 38-10. Then the second game 31-18 to finish on a glory scored of 68 and a glory conceded of 27. Pretty good day's work, really. Sorry, Carl. The fourth game was against Dan, who was a friend of Mal, so I knew he was going to be a competent player. Not that anyone else wasn't, but still, I hold Mal and his friends to a high degree. And he was bringing Morgoth, so I was worried he was just going to batter me to bits. And it didn't really happen, thankfully. I did longboard him. I felt like going full on Machiavellian at this point and just ruining his day. I actually won both roll-offs, so I longboarded him twice. No regrets. He actually managed to get me off the edge hex with Frothcorn, so I couldn't hidden path him away. But he still survived because thankfully he failed like 2 attacks. And he was on 1 wound for a very long time. And I managed to squeak the victory. I say squeak. It ended at 38-10 in the first game, but it felt a lot closer. But in the second game, I actually managed to get him away to the other side of the board after he had committed forward. But I just couldn't get glory generation fast enough or quick enough to start crapping out glory thanks to the relics. But it still ended up a 31-18 win, so I can't really complain too much. The total glory that I scored in that game summed up the day really. I got 69. Nice. I conceded 28. So yeah, like I said, a good day's work in that game really. So for the day, I scored a total of 234 glory over the 9 games I played. So an average glory per match was 26, which I would have thought would be higher. But I guess the 2 games or the 3 games against Mal brought me down. I conceded 103 over the 9 games, so the average is 11.44444444 recurring. So, you know, still a pretty comprehensive average win, I would say. But I would absolutely score this deck absolute dirtbag. I'm recording this on the Wednesday, so it's a good 4 days after, and I've only just got out of the shower. And I feel like I'm going to have another one to get clean again, because honestly, I couldn't apologise enough on the day. But thank you everyone for grinning and bearing the game with me. Do appreciate it. I can appreciate it was miserable, but thank you all the same. So that's the video. I'm in the future going forward, I do hope to do more of these recaps for when I go to events. I think the next event is actually the one held at the Gwent Reavers, and I'm, like I said, I'm hosting it, so I'm not going to play. I'll play if we have odd numbers, but I'm hoping not to play, if that makes sense. It'll be fun, but I don't want to play. But should be good. So I might do a quick review of that. I might stream it, actually, thinking about it. I'll see how I feel. But yeah, going forward, I do like the idea of having like a running blog of my gaming events trips, I suppose. So stay tuned for that one. And thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!